Gather around everyone, we need to talk about this banner. It's an insane one that's happening right now. The current time period for Arknights I would say is a medium-sized update, meaning it's not like a lot of things are running concurrently, but there are good stuff for you to look forward to. So we're gonna start talking about this one first, that is the Orienteering Headhunting. People are going to call this a bait banner, although usually bait banners means that the next few banners are important. Is that so? I'm going to discuss that with you guys in a bit. But I think this banner is insane for any new player or mid-game player. But of course, it's going to be taking up your pool funds. So understanding how this works, basically, you start the banner by choosing 3 6 stars that you would like. And here's the thing, they're the only 6 stars that you can get on the banner. So it's not all 6 that can appear at once, only 3 of them. So you would definitely be selecting the ones that you do not have. And this selection of 6 stars is genuinely insane. Like, Logos is one of the most powerful casters, Escalon, very good at slowing everybody down and big AoE damage, Monster, one of the biggest true damage dealers, Ray, fantastic single target physical damage, Hodora, very good at lane holding, Taunt's Outer, very good at providing a big AoE damage, DOT or healing as well. All super fun units to play. And I don't think there's any sort of bad choice, it really just comes down to what you feel you need in your account or who you feel you'll have the most fun to play with. Then also works on the 5 star as well, where these are the only 5 stars that you can get. So of course, you might not be prioritizing building your 5 stars, but if you have any that you're missing or maybe you didn't collect full potential, you can do this as a bit of a side quest while you pull towards the 6 star. Now do take note that the pity that you have in other banners, do not join into this one. It's a separate pity. So you will just be trying to pull towards the first 6 star that appears. Now, should you keep pulling after you've gotten one of the 6 stars here? I would say you don't have to, because there's still that 1/3 chance that you got the new person that you got, and then 2/3 chance where you get something else. Maybe you don't want to risk it in terms of wasting your pool funds. If you only have 2 operators missing, then I would also say maybe you can avoid, so that you save your pools, perhaps during a limited banner. If they do appear as an off banner, you can celebrate at that time, no need to rush. But like I said though, new players, I think you can really enjoy this selection. So I'm going to try to do a bit of a priority here as to who I think is the most influential to one's account. And I think very obviously, Logos is going to be a big hot pick. Then I would suggest Escalon also, because the role that she plays, the amount of DOT damage and the big AoE, the utility and everything is just insane. And I would say Monster will be the 3rd most priority pick over here. Then if it's not these 3 and you want to add on to the others, I think the next best might be Ray. Just a single target dealing is crazy enough. Followed by Hodora and then Taunt's Outer. I would say it's quite close. I don't really have a sort of preference as to like who I think is the strongest or most fun. Like, if I judge by fun, I would want to say that Taunt's Outer I would prioritize over Ray and Hodora, because it's very nice to learn how that skill 2 works. Skill 3 is not very easy to use, but 2 is really good to experience and just see that big range of damage that he is able to deal. The other 2, I mean, Hodora doesn't move around on the map, so the stationary gameplay maybe not that interesting, but Ray, pretty good utility to enjoy. So anyways, select on these ones. The 5 stars I'm not going to recommend. I think this is just more so for collector purposes. There's not really anyone that's insane. Well, Proviso is insane for base. Rob is insane for caster damage if you're missing casters. The others, I would say it's a bit, own taste if you want them or not. So that's that for this banner. There are other banners ongoing at the moment, like Siege Outer, but I think most people wouldn't be pulling on this one because it's not that crucial for you to own Vina Victoria, basically. You might as well prefer getting a Monster over Vina Victoria. Unfortunate for Siege, I know. Then there are 2 other banners as well. You tend to not pull on standard banners, yeah, because it's pretty expensive and the chance of you to get the on banner is lower, right? It's 25% for one of the 6 stars, 25% for the other. All the others are for off banners. But if you want to buy them with your yellow certs in the store, you can do so. So Penance is in the store, I wouldn't prioritize it. Kyobi, however, is in the store, which I think Kyobi has so much of a glow up over time in Arknights. And a lot of people will tell you that she's an insane single target caster. If you want to experience that sort of gameplay, maybe you can afford your 180 yellow certs to actually purchase yourself a Kyobi. Now, since we're in the store, we might as well talk about the ongoing big event that's occurring. This is more so just for purchase's sake, but this is the 2nd time around that Arknights is collabing with Sanrio, and they have new skins as well as older ones for you to purchase. So the 3 skins that they feature are Lumen, Ayer, and Executor. None of them are L2D, but they're all at 18 OP. So I think it's beautiful, and the new characters from Sanrio that they get to feature is great as well. I mean, that's Cinnamon Roll, I believe, and I don't remember this frog's name, but it's very cute. I think it's super suitable for Lumen. I'm definitely gonna buy them all. The thing about Sanrio Collab is that I kinda think they might still do a third phase in the future. Like, if Sanrio is really happy with Arknights doing this for them, I wouldn't be surprised if like 1-2 years down the line, there's actually a third edition and then all these rerun. But if you care about the exclusivity and you worry that there isn't such a thing, perhaps this is the last time you can buy them. So if you care about that, then get these skins. The previous skins where it featured You Official, Golden Glow, and Lee are still available for you to get. And there's a lot of reruns from the other series as well that you can purchase. So like Wind Chimes, Cold Shot, Irene, Lei Zi are all back. The only other new skin that is not related to Sanrio is Figurino. So if you enjoy Figurino, especially because of the wonderful story that he appeared in, that is Pototori, you can obtain him. Then, there is also an ongoing in-game event. But before I talk about that, because I did mention when it comes to pulling on the current Orienteering Banner, you might be thinking, is it worth the pull? So we might as well just take a look at the next event, and that is going to be Chapter 16. So Chapter 16 features the operator that is Mantra. The thing is, I'm not exactly certain if Mantra is like jaw-dropping insane of a meta unit, because I tend to not spoil myself sometimes over CN stuff. So I actually don't really know how she works, but the community reception seems to put it that she's a good unit. I don't think it's like insanely strong, but a nice to have within one's account, because she applies the paralysis status as well, pretty much similar to Tragodia. But from what I understand, it's like, if you want to skip, you could. So we'll discuss more about that when she actually appears. And in that case, when you judge that together with the Orienteering Banner, maybe the Orienteering Banner doesn't look as big of a banner, since maybe you can afford to pull in that one instead. Anyways, Chapter 16 appears in 19th of March, so you have quite some time until then. Of course, we're gonna get the limited banners very soon, and that is going to be the Silver Ash Altar banner that appears in about mid-April. So you might just say, well, I'm not gonna pull for Mantra and I'm also not gonna pull for this, and that would be up to you, basically. Also, during that point in time, on 19th March, there is going to be integrated strategies of an update, and that features the 4th ending, which I heard is really difficult. So look forward to that if you're someone who loves IS. Then, the final thing that you can see on the screen is that right now we're experiencing Rebuilding Mandate. So, just as with every new game mode that appears in the game, I will say that the reception is always the same. There are people who mad love this game mode, and there's people who think that this is the worst game mode ever. But guys, Arknights is just beautiful like that. There are tons of different game modes for you to play. There's Reclamation Algorithm, Integrated Strategies, Annihilation, SSS, CC, or even the permanent CC, right? The world is your oyster. So if you don't like this game mode, maybe you'll like something else. But since this is something new for people to experience, I don't really have a say as to whether I think this is good or not, because I haven't played it yet. By the time you watch this video, it should mean that I am streaming or have already streamed my first playthrough of Rebuilding Mandate. So if you want to see my reaction towards that, I invite you to watch the YouTube or Twitch stream to see how I experienced it. I'm looking forward to it though. It really looks like a fun game mode to play. You guys can let me know in the comments if you love it, if you think this should have a rerun or a permanent sort of game mode. It'll be interesting to see what they'll do for Rebuilding Mandate in the future, because I'm pretty certain this won't be a one-time sort of game mode. Okay, that's all the things that you all need to know for now. It's a chiller time in Arknights, I would say. Like I said, medium-sized update, just a mega different game in Arknights once again, whenever they do all these new game modes. Alright, with that, I will see you guys in another video. Okay, take care y'all. Bye.